Welcome back to our channel, where we provide updates and undisclosed narratives on Catherine, Princess of Wales, and her royal family. We provide you with the exciting news: King Charles and Princess Anne's bold move to ban Camilla elevates Catherine to the royal Frontline. Buckingham Palace said that King Charles III and his sister Anne, the Princess Royal, have signed a new order. This is a sign that the British royal family is going through a big and important transition. The formal edict, which modifies the norms for the counselors of state and royal advising jobs, has shocked the institution and royal observers all over the world. Queen Camilla is definitely not in certain critical areas of the article, which suggests her role has been constrained. In her place, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, has been formally elevated to a frontline position in the royal power structure. This is the largest alteration in the House of Windsor's hierarchy in a long time. The announcement, which was delivered in a quiet, formal fashion, instead of with a lot of hoopla, verified months of intense speculation that has been going on at the palace and in the media across the globe. The palace dubbed the decree a pragmatic adjustment to ensure the seamless and efficient functioning of the monarchy. People perceive it as a clear and deliberate strategy for the future. It seems like the future will make the institution work better, put the direct line of succession first, and give the extremely popular Princess of Wales a formal position as a major architect of the next chapter of the monarchy. This is not a little adjustment to how things are done. It is a fundamental restructuring that deals with the king's ongoing health issues, the need for a strong and unblemished core of working royals, and the long-term aim of a slimmed-down monarchy. The signatures of Monarch Charles and Princess Anne together are very important, because they illustrate how close the monarch is to his most loyal and stoic brother. It seems like this partnership was made to keep the crown important and going in a world that isn't always clear. When you look at the details of the decree, there are a lot of questions. What does this mean for Queen Camilla's legacy? Charles's life was very much shaped by her journey from public adversary to appointed queen. What will the Princess of Wales do with her new power? What does this intentional sidelining and elevation reveal about the internal dynamics, family tensions, and planned survival instincts of the most famous royal family in the world? This is the story of a monarchy that is changing. It began long before this order was established, and is based on tradition, personal history, and the continual need to alter or risk being forgotten. The start of a royal restructure. From order to disorder. To really understand how terrible this new legislation is, you need to know how it came to be. King Charles III promised stability at the outset of his reign and made it known that he wanted to modernize things. One of the first big things he did in late 2022 was to help get a measure through Parliament that would amend the Regency Act. This put Princess Anne and Prince Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, on the list of counselors of state. These are those who may act on the monarch's behalf if they are unwell or away from home. People believed this was a wonderful idea at the time, since it meant that non-working royals like Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, and Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, wouldn't have to undertake their constitutional duties. It was a move that made the concept of having a limited group of working royals who were dedicated to their jobs stronger. Because she was married to the king-queen, Camilla was automatically a counselor of state. It seemed like the law and tradition supported this. But all changed in early 2024 when it was revealed that King Charles had cancer. The revelation, which was shared with greater honesty than ever before, made the monarchy's backup plans quite clear to the public. The theoretical need for counselors of state became a practical, urgent problem. When the Princess of Wales revealed that she had cancer, and then again during the summer when Princess Anne had a concussion while riding, the institution's weakness was even more apparent. It was obvious that the higher ranks of the royal family were quite weak. Sources close to the palace indicated that these health difficulties pushed up a series of high-level meetings that had been going on surreptitiously for months at royal palaces like Balmoral and Windsor Castle. People reported that the King and Princess Anne led these conversations, which were largely about making the institution future-proof. Anne, who has long been considered the family's hard worker, is said to have pushed for a framework based on rigorous efficiency, and the way things are now, not how they used to be. At the same time, other little but crucial tensions were growing. People commended Queen Camilla for taking on more public duties while the king was having treatment, but her job wasn't easy either. People began to pay greater attention to lesser concerns, such as claims that payments were made from Duchy of Cornwall moneys to her sister for advisory work when she was Duchess. It is said that Prince William abolished this practice when he took over the duchy as part of a bigger attempt to save money and make things run more smoothly. Even while these concerns were little on their own, they contributed to the idea that the monarchy needed to chop off any and all unneeded branches in order to retain the public's confidence and financial obligation. The king's health. The need for a steady support system. The Princess of Wales's ascent to stardom and a strategic push for a smaller organization all came together to form the perfect storm. The idea of a new clarifying directive moved from being a backup plan to something that was needed for the strategy. People who know suggest that early drafts may have included Queen Camilla in a more traditional position. Princess Anne's strong voice on the other side called for a forward-thinking and unemotional approach. This led to alterations in the final language that showed a fresh vision for the Windsor dynasty. A formal announcement was about to be made that would shift the balance of power for a long time. Detailed description of the decree, a strategy for the future. This piece of writing is formally referred to as the 2024 Regency and Councillors of State Framework. It is not only a modification, rather it completely alters the activities that the royal family is required to carry out in times of emergency. Despite the fact that the official statement issued by Buckingham Palace was short, constitutional experts have examined the most significant parts of the decree and found that it was well thought out and properly prepared. First and foremost, the most significant departure from custom is that the spouse of the monarch will no longer automatically be appointed to the position of Counselor of State. In 1937 and 1953, the Regency Acts established the consort's position as a formal one. With the implementation of this new structure, the marital bond is now autonomous from the constitutional obligation. It instead puts the next 4 persons in line for the position who are presently conducting official work at the top of the list when it comes to the selection process. The number 1 spot on this list belongs to Prince William. The next person to arrive is Prince Harry, who is not now employed. Hence, his participation is more of a formality than anything else. Following him is Prince Andrew, who is also not currently employed, and lastly his daughter, Princess Beatrice. Princess Anne and Prince Edward will become members of the royal family in 2022, providing the Queen with the active members she needs to carry out her duties. 2. An elevation of the Princess of Wales. The order elevates the Princess of Wales to the position of official advisor, which is something that has never been done before. According to the text, she is the chief advisor to the king and the heir on matters of family welfare, public engagement strategy, and the long-term preservation of the crown's modern identity. This is stated in a clear and concise manner. This indicates that she is not only a consort-in-waiting who provides support, but rather a significant decision-maker throughout the process. Because she is not the next in line to the throne, she does not hold the position of Counselor of State. 3. Princess Anne's function. The signatures of the King and Princess Royal on the paper are not only there for the sake of appearance. According to the reports, the order assigns her a position of specific responsibility to ensure that its requirements are adhered to. Many people recognize her as a hard worker who never fails to complete the tasks assigned to her. Because of this, she is the one who assures the new framework, which not only makes traditionalists feel better, but also encourages them to advocate for change. 4. The edict makes it very apparent that the only individuals who can be trusted to carry out official tasks are defined as active frontline members of the royal family. This paragraph makes it abundantly obvious and legally enforceable that the Dukes of Sussex and York are not permitted to fulfill any responsibilities imposed by the state or the Constitution. In addition to this, it guarantees that none of the questions will be raised in the future. It was maintained by the spokesman for the royal family that these adjustments were prudent for the future. As stated in the declaration, the monarchy, like any other institution that endures, must adjust to new circumstances. This framework makes sure that there is a strong, flexible, and efficient structure in place to support His Majesty and the heir to the throne. This document is a reflection of what is happening right now, as well as what will be required in the future, and all of the individuals who signed it did so with the intention of ensuring the safety of the crown for future generations. As far as the attorneys are concerned, the document is quite complex. By working as an internal royal decree that explains and expands on laws that are already in existence, such as the Councillors of State Act of 2022, it circumvents the politically contentious process of having new laws adopted in Parliament. This allows it to escape the political fallout that would otherwise be experienced. It is a transition that is led by the palace and is carried out with great care. The Queen's fading Camilla's new job. This decree marks a complex and painful turning point for Queen Camilla. Her journey has been one of the most incredible tales of redemption in recent history. A lot of people detested her at first and believed she was the third person in Charles and Diana's marriage. But over time, she slowly and deliberately won over certain people, which led to her and her husband being proclaimed queen. The final seal of approval came from Queen Elizabeth II herself in 2022, when she indicated she sincerely wished for Camilla to be recognized as queen consort. But the new legislation appears to take away that hard-won status, at least in terms of the Constitution. Removing her name from the list of emergency authorities is a very significant symbolic move. People who know claim that both sides made the decision and that the Queen herself backed it up, but it's impossible to dispute how it appears. Some people could regard it as a demotion, a quiet way to place bloodlines and future popularity ahead of the King's personal relationship. People who know the Queen well claim that there is another tale, one of giving authority. People think that Camilla, who is 77 years old and has been a constant support for the King since he got sick, wants to focus on her own humanitarian projects, like raising awareness about osteoporosis, helping victims of domestic violence, and encouraging reading without the stress of being a constitutional backup. She can be a supportive wife and fight for her causes with passion without having to worry about state protocol during a crisis, one aide said without giving their name. We can't overlook the fact that there is tension in the family, however. Even if it's not clear, people have been speculating about the friction between Queen Camilla and Prince William for a long time. The Prince of Wales cares a lot about his mother's history. He has always been nice in public, but insiders have stated for a long time that their connection is more like friends than lovers. Some individuals believed that Charles's modifications to the Duchy of Cornwall's finances, which harmed Camilla's family, proved that he was more businesslike than romantic when it came to royal concerns. So this edict may also be seen as a strategic triumph for the Wales's view of the monarchy. In any regency scenario, it makes sure that Prince William is the most powerful person, with his wife Catherine as his chief counsel. This avoids any problems that may emerge from having a dowager queen in a formal capacity. So Camilla's legacy is shifting right now. She is still the king's wife and friend, and she is still the queen. She will keep working in public. The decree, on the other hand, declares that her major task now is to help the monarch directly, and the crown's institutional weight shifts firmly to the next generation. Catherine's path to power. The rise of a princess. The directive cuts down on one royal's responsibilities while it considerably enhances another's. The formal promotion of Catherine, Princess of Wales, may be the most crucial and forward-looking portion of the text. She is no longer only the calm and well-liked wife of the heir, she is now a significant element of the monarchy's strategic leadership. This move makes something that has been evident for years official. Catherine's climb from commoner to married to a member of the royal family to a famous person throughout the globe has taught us about grace, fortitude, and strategic thinking. People in the family constantly give her excellent marks. A recent YouGov poll indicated that 76% of respondents liked her. This indicates that she can seem both regal and friendly. Her influence extends beyond how nice she appears in pictures and how stylish she is. Through the Royal Foundation, she has become well known in the realm of policy. The Shaping Us campaign is a good example of her work on early childhood development. It is a long-term, evidence-based effort that has been commended by academics, social scientists, and politicians. She has successfully transformed how people think about the first 5 years of life as an important part of being well mentally and physically as an adult. This has changed how people talk about public policy in the UK and other places. The new decree gives this initiative an official seal of approval. King Charles has officially deemed her the greatest ambassador for the monarchy and the best way to interact with younger people by designating her the main advisor on public engagement strategy and the Crown's modern identity. Her family connections have been extremely vital to her success. Reports say that she and King Charles have a strong bond of warmth and respect that comes from their shared interests in the arts and the environment. More significantly, she has developed a close, respectful relationship with Princess Anne. The two women come from different times, yet they both believe in being responsible, being careful, and not whining. The old guard in the family sees Anne's support for Catherine's new job as a strong vote of confidence. This new employment comes with certain hazards. When you have additional responsibilities, people pay greater attention to you. The media frenzy that accompanied her recent health concerns was a clear sign of how much stress she is under all the time. Her main difficulty will be figuring out how to reconcile her new public duties with the need to keep her 3 young kids, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, safe and out of the public eye. The order is still a big sign of support, however. It gives Catherine the chance to not just support Prince William's future leadership, but also help design it. She may now make choices on royal policy on a broad variety of topics, from the monarchy's digital strategy to mental health initiatives. The palace believes that her combination of dignity, empathy, and modern sensibility will keep the monarchy going for a long time. This is Catherine's chance to shine as she shifts from being a princess to the de facto head of the Windsor enterprise. Exactly what this means and what comes after it. An emerging monarchy. There is a turning point that occurs when the edict is issued in 2025. It makes it clear what the future holds for the House of Windsor. The effects of this will be felt for many years to come, and they will alter the way in which the family communicates with the outside world and how they collaborate with one another. This is the most tangible embodiment of King Charles's vision for a slimmed-down monarchy that has yet to take place. 1. an institution that is leaner and more agile. It is possible to make the crown less vulnerable to the problems and diversions that have afflicted it in the past by concentrating constitutional authority in a smaller group that is more focused. It is likely that the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, together with other members of the royal family, will continue to play an important role in public events. Yet it is now evident that the central government is more powerful. The order symbolizes the beginning of the transition to King William Fee's rule in spirit, if not in actuality. This is the beginning of the Wales's era, which strengthens. The manner in which William and Catherine will divide authority is very obvious, which demonstrates that they are a coherent unit that is prepared to take the helm. This eliminates the possibility of any power disputes occurring in the future and ensures that the succession goes down without a hitch. 3. The final word on Harry and Andrew. The order is the final straw that will eventually bring an end to the royal careers of Prince Harry and Prince Andrew. It is now against the law for active working royals to ever do any kind of employment again according to the monarchy. As a result, it is clear that they will never be able to do their duties again. 4. The possibility of a backlash from the public. Certain people may believe that the change is contemporary and reasonable, but it also has the potential to fail. It is possible for those who have a favorable opinion of Queen Camilla to see her expulsion as an insult that is insulting and causes them to question the choice of the king to make her his queen. Some individuals would make the observation that it was a cold corporate-style move that illustrates how terrible things are behind the velvet curtain, which might be a factor in the stories that are told about a family that is having problems. 5. The new position that Catherine has the potential to reimagine what it means to be a royal consort. Typical ceremonial and patronage responsibilities are just a small part of her job description. At this point, she is a consort who has a certain policy portfolio and is also a partner in strategy. It is possible that this will establish a standard for future generations of royals, giving greater importance to the actual results than just being there. In a nutshell, the choice made by the monarchy to have King Charles and Princess Anne sign the proclamation is an excellent one. It is a method for addressing problems that are happening in the present moment and a strategy for ensuring the safety of the future. It is a document that was created because it was necessary, because it was helpful, and because it was based on an objective evaluation of the accomplishments and shortcomings of the organization. To ensure that the main stem remains robust, the House of Windsor is consciously undergoing a transformation in which it is cutting off its own branches. It is not dependent on the very large family that existed in the past. Rather, it is dependent on a small, well-behaved, and well-liked core. Princess Anne is the person who defends the monarchy, whereas the Princess of Wales is the person who represents the monarchy to the general public. People might recall the reign of Charles III not only for how it was similar to the past, but also for how it openly and aggressively broke with it in order to protect the crown. In this chapter, we delve into the ways in which a single instruction, although a straightforward one, had a profound impact on the narrative of the House of Windsor. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts and goodbye for now.